Can't keep running away.
Greetings, Groovers. Welcome to Full Record Jacket, the 1990s pick of the albums, part 2. We're doing the years 1992 and 1993. Apologies for the awful sound on the last show. That was due to the fact that Ben hadn't connected his microphone correctly and was being picked up by that little microphone on his headphones, not his main microphone, which is why I could hear weird noises and wasn't imagining it at all. So, yeah.
We did talk about re-recording it, but I did say that I wouldn't be able to feign my
feign your dilemma.
my dilemma at choices.
Well, you had your dilemma. You made your choices.
Yeah,
you're stuck with them now.
yeah.
We're going into 1992. So the three albums that we each picked.
Yes.
From that year. Let's have a quick
recap.
Do you remember what you picked from 1992?
I picked The Far Side, Bizarre Ride to the Far Side, Spiritualized and Laser Guided Melodies, and then I chose your possibly favourite album of the 1990s. It's a finalist, people. On Phil, he's going to try and say that he doesn't like this album.
Well, I did see them.
Down, he's a backward clothes wearing mofo. It is crisscross and totally crossed out.
I can't believe that I can't believe that you chose that.
You've seen them live.
I also can't believe that I saw them live, but I did.
Yeah.
At the Michael Jackson concert.
Warm it up, Chris. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Warm it up, Chris. That's what I was born to do.
Right, what have we got? I had REM, Automatic for the People.
Sensible choice by Phil.
Will that be an automatic choice for me? I also went with Tori Amos and her great album, not technically a debut album, but kind of a debut. Little Earthquakes. And then I went Prince again. I went with his 1992 opus, the so-called Symbol album. But who's going to make top pick from each of us? So what are you going with from your three?
Well, the Far Side album, very similar in a way to my hip hop choice from 1990, where it's got that sort of, once again, highly critical acclaim, humorous lyrics. The first single I remember of this was that "Can't Keep Running Away," which I think was a great track. I really do like this Far Side album. Bizarre. No, it wasn't Running Away. It was Passing Me By. That was a song. Can't Keep Running Away was from about 95, 96. Okay. So I do apologise for my lack of knowledge there.
Were you into this album at the time?
No. I discovered this album probably 6-7 years later.
You were probably into Criss Cross, were you?
I did have the Criss Cross album.
Okay.
Which has got the great single, Jump, Jump. Criss Cross will make you jump, jump. Daddy Mac will make you jump, jump. So, it's, what was it, Chris Mac Daddy and Chris Daddy Mac, I think they're in their names, isn't it? And they brought in the backwards clothing, which is great until you need to go to urinal.
They wore backwards baseball caps. Did they also wear backwards jeans and jackets? They wore those very baggy kind of jeans.
Yeah.
They didn't have the shoes on backwards though, did they?
I think they gave it a go. They only had little tiny feet, didn't they, like hooves? So, which also made it difficult on landing from the jumping, just having hooves. So, and then Laser Guided Melodies as an album I came into late. Obviously, rugby's finest, isn't it? Jason Pearce. So this was the debut album after Spacemen 3 broke up. But it's got really good, like Shine a Light and Run. Real sort of textured orchestral tracks. And I think it's one of the pioneering or standout albums of that sort of 90s space rock. I think that's what it's sort of classed as, isn't it? So, if I'm honest, Philster, once again, a really bloody hard choice. Once again, the Crisscross album does fall into the same thing as the MC Hammer album, as in it does remind me of very much of that time. I used to love the Jump. I think I've got Warm It Up, Chris, on CD single, or Warm It Up on CD single. So, but I really do like the Far Side album, and I really do like the Spiritualized album. And I'm torn, like Natalie Imbruglia. So, what were your three, Phil? So while I contemplate.
I had REM.
Yeah,
I had Tori Amos and Prince. I think I'm going to have to put
Prince.
REM through.
Ooh,
I think that's got to go through because to me that's an essential 90s album. The
yeah,
other ones,
yeah.
well, they might make a bonus, but I think Automatic for the People is an automatic choice.
Yeah,
So
I'm going Far Side.
okay, let's get that in there.
Bizarre Ride to the Far Side
by
is
the
what I'm
Far
going
Side.
with, Phil. So I've a bit of alternative hip hop released, I think, the day before my mum and brother's birthday in 1992. So I am going so hard. I thought this was going to be easy because I thought, oh, I'm bound to have put some chuff in there that I can easily single out. So,
the
but
Far
yeah, that's
Side,
what I'm going for. Yeah,
the Far Side spelled PHARCYDE. If you're looking it up, viewers, if you've never heard of it before, if you're gonna have something that starts with a th sound, then obviously a PH on the start is the way to go. That's the best way.
Well, thank you, Mr. Smith, for today's English lesson.
Yeah, 93. So you went with Björk and her debut.
Yeah.
Then you have a British band, the Verve, as they were called at the time, Storm in Heaven.
Yeah.
And then Siamese Dream from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Smiling Politely. Yeah, once again, this was Björk's debut. Obviously, it was called debut after she left the Sugar Cubes.
Yeah, she was the Sugar Cubes singer. Yeah,
and it obviously has tracks on it like Human Behaviour, Venus to a Boy, and Big Time Sensuality. I used to love that song. I like the video to it where she's on the back of that trailer going through New York City.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember.
But it does. The album does transcend many genres because it is very trip hoppy, pop, bit of house in there. So it's quite innovative, innovative, and quite experimental in places. So I do like that as it. I think it's a really, really good album. The Verve album, I really, really did enjoy. Because I suppose it'd be classed as it's shoegaze. It's a shoegaze album, isn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't it have a track on it called Slide Away? I'm sure it's got a track.
I think it does have one with the same title as the Oasis song, but not the same song.
Yeah, obviously it's produced by John Leckie, quite a renowned producer. I think the album got overshadowed by Urban Hymns when that came out. I really did enjoy the album. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. And it is a really, really good album. And then the Smashing Pumpkins album, I'd never heard of it till we did this. Well, I've heard of it, but I'd never listened to it. I suppose it's a better phrase. I think Billy Corgan's songwriting is, I think this album, and was it the follow-up album, the one with the really long title? Can't remember, with Tonight and that on it.
Yes, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
Yeah, I think he's at his songwriting peak over these couple of albums. Yeah, a really, 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 three really good albums. I think I've done well in 1993.
Yeah.
It's going to be Björk because I really do like that album, and I've liked it for longer than I've liked the other two. And I like the styles. It's got a bit of trip hop, which I do like my trip hop. I think it's an exquisite blend of musical genres, feels that. If I was pushed, the other two are really hard to separate for me. So Bjork, on the simple fact of she isn't hard to separate from the other two, means by default she is my choice for the year 1993.
This is tough.
Hanging
I've
Tough,
got
New Kids on the Block. Is that one of your
yeah.
favourite albums of the 90s? Didn't think it came out in the 90s, Phil. I thought that was 1989.
Well, I've got U2 again and Zooropa.
Yeah.
Which I think the consensus is that it's not as good as Acton Baby, but there probably are some people who prefer it. I did like the experimentation of it, the weirdness of it. Still think it's perhaps, overlooked in some ways. But anyway, got that. Got Counting Crows, August and Everything After. And then I've got Liz Phair with Exile in Guyville. So that's a difficult one as well, because all these albums have got something going for them. The Liz Phair album has a bit of a cult around it. Some people who love that album will be outraged if I don't put it through. But then again, the Counting Crows album is very popular with a lot of people. That's still fondly thought of by many. And it is a good one. This is a tough one.
Was it Counting Crows? Did they do Black Hole Sun, or was that somebody else I'm thinking?
That's Soundgarden.
Soundgarden, yeah.
Oh,
those sort of bands all merge into one for me.
It's Counting Crows were not so heavy, Soundgarden was more heavy.
Yeah,
I suppose that's the best way to describe it. Counting Crows was more towards REM or something like that.
REM.
This is a difficult one. I'm going to go with.
Ooh, here we go.
I'm going to put the Counting Crows one through.
Counting Crows is going through, really?
I think so. I've already put U2 with another one, so I'm going to.
You're not sure, are you? I can tell.
No,
look, that vein on the side of your head's popping out.
It probably is. There we go. So that's it. I'm going with Counting Crows, August and Everything After. Ben's gone with Björk's debut from 93 and 92. I've got REM's Automatic for the People, and Ben has taken the bizarre ride to the far side.
I have
by indeed. The far side. That, viewer, is another 12 minutes of us choosing 2 albums each from the 90s. Guess what? It's going to be another video on the same topic.
With us two on it.
With 2 different years. That's coming soon. Join us for that. Thanks for watching.